A group of murder-loving celebrities have booked in for a holiday with a deadly twist. The Murder Mystery Weekend.
Look, there's a man over there, dead, with his head in the blancmange.
Going back to the golden age of the whodunit.
Oh, they're having us.
They'll live with a classic cast of crime story characters.
You disgusting little toad! You get off me!
Who's there?
While all around them, a killer is on the loose.
Oh, God!
Look at this, look at this.
As the body count rises,
This is just horrible.
our celebrities must turn detective
Bang!
and work together.
I think she has motive, and she has motive.
You should be in the remake of Prime Suspect.
To unmask the murderer.
I haven't fired a gun in years. Don't lie to us.
In a world where no one can be trusted
This house is full of death.
and no one is safe.
Is that another body?
Oh, hell.
We never thought it would be one of us.
For the first time, 6 celebrities with a passion for crime are about to experience a very British phenomenon, the Murder Mystery Weekend.
A few murder mysteries to keep me going.
For TV presenter and national treasure Angela Rippon, it's a chance to indulge her love of the whodunit.
I have never done a murder mystery experience before. What I do know so far is that we've got a lot of actors who are going to act out, presumably a murder. And we're going to have to try and discover who the murderer is, and I am so looking forward to doing it.
While journalist and Strictly star John Sargent
Okay, off we go.
can't wait to get his hands dirty.
I'm a bit nervous because, well, I'm expecting a lot of bodies, a lot of murders, but also I'm expecting something, well, something intriguing and something that I've got to solve.
Angela and John will be joined for the weekend
What's this?
by lead singer of the 3 Degrees, Sheila Ferguson.
Well, that's lovely.
I'm about to embark on an adventure, and one I've never ever done before. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I just can't wait to get my teeth sunk into it.
Over 4 days, our celebrities will be plunged into their very own murder mystery plot, set in a grand Tudor mansion in the heart of rural Buckinghamshire. Here, they will live and interact with a classic cast of whodunit characters. The Lord and Lady of the Manor. Their boozing son. The batty old aunt and her suspicious travelling companion. A devious solicitor. Scheming schoolteacher. Shifty village doctor. The butler and the housekeeper. All of whom will play out in front of our celebrities a classic murder mystery storyline.
You are cordially invited to the reading of the will of the late Baroness Grafton. Oh, I hope she's mentioned me.
To help them fit in with the 1920s theme, the celebrities will assume classic murder mystery personas, right down to the clothes on their backs.
You will be a music hall star, hailing from Philadelphia, famous throughout Europe and the States. You ooze glamour and sophistication and style. Well, I won't have to act too much, will I?
Oh dear, I am going to be Lady Rippon of Plymouth, a grand dame, used to the finer things in life.
You will be Colonel John Sargent, retired military man. Huh. Right.
As befits their status, classic transport has been laid on, so that John, Sheila and Angela will arrive at Grafton Manor in style.
How posh is this?
Is that Angela? Oh, it's my mate.
Ah, yes! Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Look, it's you lot.
For our next 2 arrivals, life at the manor won't be quite so glamorous.
Trust me to knock it over.
Star of one of the biggest boy bands of the 90s, former Boyzone member Keith Duffy,
Would you look at that? Perfect fit.
is already getting into character as a gentleman's valet.
Like Basil Fawlty. This weekend is very exciting for me. I'll be looking forward to seeing if I'll be able to kind of figure out what's going on, or if I can kind of sense, you know, what's coming up.
Been murdered already.
Also working below stairs is Heidi High legend Sue Pollard.
Oh, isn't it pretty? You will be a lady's maid. Oh, Mom, I'm so hoping that this murder isn't grisly. I don't want to get blood all over my beautiful apron. God, hope my teeth are all right. My lipstick.
Pollard, how are you? How are you doing?
Oh, you look marvellous.
How are you? Oh, you're dressed for downstairs as well.
Well, oh, yeah, you know who
We're
you
downstairs people.
are. Yeah, but you've got fabulous teeth.
Yeah, I bought them.
They're gorgeous. Oh, lovely. Hey, look at that.
But this doesn't look too shabby, does it?
No, it doesn't actually.
As long as we don't wake up dead, we'll be okay. We won't know anyway.
Oh, no.
But no whodunit cast would be complete without a vicar. And the last of our celebrity detectives doesn't really need a costume for that.
Right, let's look.
Ex-communard turned reverend Richard Coles.
Busman's holiday for me, I see. Classic vicar kit. I think vicars do make actually good crime sleuths, partly because we spend a lot of our time around people who are lying, and so you get a sort of nose for that. And also we get involved in the dramas of people's lives.
The roof is down, they must be freezing.
Oh, can you spot anybody yet?
Come on, we've got to say hello. I suppose we're going to have to be the servants.
Very nice to see you.
Yes, again.
Madam?
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, darling.
Oh, I can't believe I'm downstairs again.
See you.
Nice to see you too.
Hello, Mr. Duffy.
Hello, darling.
Hello, then, Ireland.
How are you?
Who's this on a bike? Oh,
My dear.
it's a vicar.
My dear. Hello.
Hello.
Lovely to see you.
We did point
How are you?
Oh, happy
Good to see
very
you.
well. Right,
John, nice to see you again. I just met the real vicar. He said, get out my drive.
Introductions over, time for the murder mystery to begin. Cue the butler.
Ah, ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Sir, welcome to Grafton Manor. My name is Smythe, I am the butler, and I will be at your disposal during your stay. May I invite you to enter Grafton Manor now and partake of some refreshment? If you'd like to follow me, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
You got a nicer suit than me.
You've got to bump to him as well. Come on, Vicar, bring your thing.
I'll stick my bike outside.
Yeah, sing it, yeah.
All our celebrities know about the plot for their murder mystery experience is that it starts with the reading of the late Baroness Grafton's will.
Who should take that?
And the characters they're about to meet are all wondering if they'll be getting a cut of her millions.
Lord Montague Grafton. Pleasure to make your acquaintance very well.
Thank you ever so much.
I hear you have a wonderful set of lungs on you.
Well, I have been told that. I didn't expect all this. How wonderful, how marvelous. I'm loving this.
I'm practicing my bomb.
How well you bombed.
Oh, it's so like authentic. Everything is. Everybody looks gorgeous. Everybody's speaking like they speak. You're transported back.
You must be absolutely
My poor
grief-stricken.
grandmama,
Yes, your poor, rich grandmama.
That's why there's so many people here.
What's your name, young man?
My name is Keith.
Keith?
Yes. I'm John's valet, darling.
Oh, I don't think I should be talking to you.
I'm trying to fit in, but I don't know how because I'm the worker, drinking, wearing white gloves in tails. Messes with my head.
Why do you look so grand if you're my valet?
Well, this is seemingly what a valet wears.
Really?
Well, I don't know. I've never been a valet before.
No.
I think what strikes me, it really is as if we have stepped back in time. The costumes that we're in, the setting that we're in, the way that the actors are absolutely immersed in their characters.
It's very kind of you to come tonight.
Oh, not at all. I'm delighted to.
It's time for the will reading to begin.
To my son, Lord Montague Grafton, I give the majority of my estate, all moneys, jewellery, lands and personal chattels not otherwise specifically gifted by my will.
Quite right. Very proper.
Well, I think already we've got the perfect murder plot set up for us. the classic family will reading.
To my daughter-in-law, Lady Helena Grafton.
Yes? Some people are going to get something good out of it. Some people are going to have their noses put out of joint.
I leave my costume jewellery of little financial value. Some might find it cheap and showy. To my sister, Lady Constance Cunningham, I leave my collection of antique fans and the portrait of my favourite dog.
I mean, the woman next to me that just got the dog, well, she was obviously well fed up.
To Dr. Stanley Keats, I leave the sum of £1,000 for his orphanage.
Very nice.
Yes.
To Nancy Bloom, schoolmistress, I also gift the sum of £1,000 towards the running of the village school.
Oh, that's so like us.
To Emily Armstrong, trusted housekeeper and daughter of my faithful retainer Enid Armstrong, who served so enthusiastically under my husband, I leave the sum of £3,000.
To domestic servant.
That's a lot of money.
Lots of money.
Yeah.
Goodness, she must have performed particularly well to get that amount of money.
To Arthur Smythe, butler, I leave £30 a year for life.
Stingy old bat.
Smartly ungrateful.
There's definitely a couple of people that didn't hide their feelings well. Utter disappointment coming from some ranks.
And lastly, to my grandson, Charles Algernon Grafton, I leave nothing but some advice.
Nothing.
Gambling rarely favours the player.
Oh. These brings out the best in people, don't they?
Jeez, your granny didn't like you, did she?
Just so you know, I can't wait till we read your will, and then I'll get all your money, and there's nothing you can do about how I spend it, all right?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about my son.
Well, I think the will reading exposed the rather venal nature of the members of this family who are obviously here really for their own personal gain. And of course also that increases the pool of people who could be both victims and murderers.
If anybody starts getting bumped off now, I would not be surprised.
Helena.
Yes, no, Arthur's hand.
She left only costume jewellery to her daughter-in-law and £3,000 to the maid, which means that she probably prefers the maid to her daughter-in-law.
There's obviously a couple of people, I think, that might want to cause harm to the one that's got the most money.
As the events of the evening sink in, the plot is about to thicken.
Reverend, my mother wanted me to discuss something with you privately.
Don't say that.
Oh my God! Ah! Oh my God! Oh my God, what are we going to do, Angela? It's going to fall out! Fall out!
This man is dead!
Somebody...
Good heavens.
No!
Are you all right, Matt?
But it was a shock.
Why would you kill the vicar?
We're all in a state of extraordinary shock. And that couldn't be more frightening. I mean, poor old Richard. He's a lovely guy. Now he is dead.
Six celebrities have booked in for the ultimate murder mystery experience. But now, there's just 5 of them. The Reverend Richard Coles has bitten the bullet.
I saw there a flash. Somebody has shot him from outside there.
No, the shot was from here.
Well, why didn't the glass break?
But where are the holes?
There's no glass.
You must have seen the reflection.
Yes, of course, and then he fell forward.
It's there.
And I tell you what, I've never heard gunshots like it. I hope I never hear them again in real life.
Well, clearly, we all knew there was going to be a murder here, but I don't think any of us suspected that the first person to be pumped off was going to be one of us.
And if that's not enough,
I'm Inspector Watcham. This is a murder investigation.
the police have arrived.
No one is to leave this place.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where's the school teacher? She's there.
She's there.
Where's the sister?
She's sitting down there.
You don't expect the vicar to be killed. I mean, that's terrible.
Why the vicar? That shocked the hell out of me. I was not I thought we were finished for the day. It was time to wind down and go to bed. That was like, whoa. I'm wide awake now. I'm ready to start over.
Mustn't get upset.
Let's come all this way on his bike and he had a nice something to eat and he's dead.
I can only apologise for everything that has gone wrong. However, as the detective said, you are not allowed to leave the house or the grounds. You are now free to go to your room, and I bid you a very, very good night. I hope you sleep well.
Peaceful night to all.
I guess Richard's not going to be around tomorrow. Or the next day.
As morning breaks over Grafton Manor,
Good morning.
Morning, milady.
You all right? Hello? Hello?
Inspector Watcham has called everyone to a meeting on the front lawn.
Going to happen now then?
Looks very serious, doesn't he?
Yes.
Look.
Good morning. My name is Inspector Watcham, and I'm in charge of this investigation.
My first impression of dear Mr. Inspector Watcham is that he's more like Inspector Gadget than Watcham.
The Reverend Richard Coles has been shot, and I will find out who is responsible.
He's a bit dour, isn't he? I think he's going to be quite a tough character to deal with.
Everyone mentioned as a beneficiary to the late Baroness Grafton, and that includes the lawyer, Marwell, who drafted legal documents. I'll be treating as a suspect to last night's murder. Now, there were 5 others present at the murder last night. Colonel Sargent.
Yes,
I hear you have interrogated many great and important men.
I have.
Do you have what it takes to break down the hard, cold exterior of a psychopathic killer?
Well, I hope so.
Lady Ripon, I've heard tell that you are a national treasure. Are you sharp of mind?
I like to think so.
Well, I'll be the judge of that as we go forward.
As I shall be the judge of you, sir, as we go forward.
Oh, dear. Dear, this is a bit...
Tit
oh,
for tat.
yeah.
Miss Ferguson,
Yeah.
it is clear to me that you are a glamorous and sophisticated lady.
Yes, and sometimes there might be a brain amidst all that.
Duffy,
Inspector.
I'm told you have a beautiful singing voice. Do you have any other skills that will help solve a crime?
No.
I'll have to wait and see.
Paula,
Yes.
do you have what it takes to rise above your station and solve this crime?
I've come from humble beginnings, but worked my way up. And I think I'll do the solving.
Excellent. To this end, I am deputizing all 5 of you to help with the investigation.
Oh, that's good.
Now you are dismissed.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
Duffy, Pollard,
Yes.
to me, please.
Oh,
Do.
what?
Right, now, I notice your new boss, the butler Smythe, has slipped off. Perhaps you should start your investigations with a little eavesdropping.
What is it you want, Mummy? Is that what you want?
Oh, look.
That's why you're with... We all know about you in the village.
That is a
Everyone knows
terrible
about you.
insinuation.
Come on, what is it? Money you want? Money? That's what you want, is it?
You deserve that, you disgusting little toad. You get off me.
It's a bit late to be playing Little Miss Innocent, isn't it? Spreading gossip, trying to blackmail your betters. I know all about you.
Oh, you know what?
How dare you? You're a butler, Smythe.
You hold your tongue, woman. You better be careful.
Or what?
Wouldn't want to find out. Who's there? Duffy! Pollard, get back to the kitchen. Be about your duties. How dare you eavesdrop on a private conversation?
Was he trying it on?
Oh, actually, yes. I've got a headache. I mean, flipping heck.
Well, let's
Okay,
go
come on
and tell
then.
the rest of them and see if their brains are better than ours.
Yeah, but I think you're really doing well.
with clues coming thick and fast, and 9 potential suspects. A special room has been laid on for our celebrities to collate their evidence.
Welcome to the incident room. This is the place where evidence will be gathered. You'll see here physical evidence, some of it a gruesome nature, documentary evidence as well. This is a place where you will discuss and you will deliberate, and you will, between you, solve, hopefully, this case. Now, I will now leave you to your deliberations. Thank you very much. I'll see you later.
Well, as the man in charge, you're not giving us much help, are you?
Well, I'll tell you what, this Lord Montague, can we vouch he was in the room?
He was standing next to the vicar.
He was next to...
Sorry to interrupt. We've got some really relevant news.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah.
We saw Mr. Smythe talking with the teacher, Nancy.
Yes.
Now, what it looked from afar was Mr. Smythe was trying to kiss her. She was pushing him away. He had suggested to her that she had been known to possibly have an affair with an older man.
Okay.
Can we look at this in a slightly different way?
Yeah.
There are two things that have happened. There are all the suspects because of the will, and there's this inexplicable death of the vicar.
Can we eliminate those people that were in the room with us when he was murdered? Lord Montague was standing next to the vicar. Lady Helen.
Right.
Yeah. She was standing next to me.
So the only people we really know that were still in the room are those two. That's it. Would it be
She
possible
was
if he had a
here.
small gun, could he have shot him himself?
No, not for the angle of the shots. Absolutely
No, 'cause I saw
impossible.
the
You would
gun.
have seen it.
Okay.
He
Yes.
saw the gun.
Nancy was
So,
in the room, wasn't she?
First impressions are that we've all actually got different opinions. We're all going to approach this in a rather different way.
I think
Right.
we have to look at what's in front of us.
Right.
At the moment, we can't see the wood for the trees.
I think this is going to be a bit tougher than we might have thought.
Now, think of the will and think of the people who benefited and the people who lost.
The son, Charles, just a spoiled little brat that got too drunk.
There's nobody who's got a good word for him. The
Not even
gambling,
himself.
the drinking, not even himself. So he's a clear sort of suspect.
Now, Nancy's a very fiery character.
but who is she having the affair with?
My thought process on it was that she possibly had an affair with the lord of the manor.
How we're meant to, together, solve this crime, it's like herding cats, isn't it?
With so many potential suspects, the celebrity sleuths are struggling to see the wood for the trees. Maybe they need another clue.
Come in.
Who's there?
Come in.
Oh,
No, Smythe.
Smythe again.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Ferguson.
Yes.
A letter has arrived for you.
Thank you.
It appears to have been hand-delivered.
Oh,
Do we know by who?
I do not, Lady Ripon.
No one knows I'm here with my agent.
Oh.
Obviously, it must be from her. Thank you. Certificate, Rodian School Pistol Champion.
Oh.
Second place, awarded to Nancy Bloom.
Ah.
Oh, listen to this, guys.
Oh, wait a minute. You need
to talk
to talk
to Nancy Bloom.
Nancy Bloom.
So
We
they
don't need an
type it.
anonymous letter to tell us that.
We've had our first clue, and now it really feels like a murder mystery.
These are things we know about her.
Right.
That she's an expert pistol shooter.
Right, came in second,
right?
yeah.
That she went to a fancy school.
Correct.
That she's had this row with Smythe. Those are
Right.
the three things that she
Right.
doesn't know that we know.
Correct.
So what we're trying to do is to ask her questions to see if she's going to lie. At Westminster, we used to say that secrets are the currency of Westminster. You trade secrets.
Someone is playing games with us here, and they're clearly pointing the finger at Nancy and want us to believe that she is a possible murderess. Nasty.
We need to tell the policeman, and we need to go back to the incident room.
Can I have a look?
The 5 celebrities investigating the murder of Richard Coles
This man is dead!
Good heavens!
have just learned that the schoolteacher is not only a crack shot,
Rodian School Pistol Champion.
Oh.
Second place, awarded to Nancy Bloom.
but might also be trying to blackmail one of the other members of the house.
What is it you want, Mummy? Is that what you want?
Oh, look.
That is a terrible insinuation. Come on, what is it? Money you want, darling? Money? That's what you want, isn't it?
You deserve it, you disgusting little toad.
It's a bit late to be playing Little Miss Innocent, isn't it? I know all about you.
Time for Angela and Sheila to investigate.
Now, what's all this about a letter?
Well, Inspector Gadget, this was delivered to me earlier today. It was the way it's put together that concerned us.
Oh, yes. Well, I trust you have your suspicions here, then?
Clearly.
We have questions.
Well, we can bring something else to the investigation here.
How?
We can bring science.
Oh, wonderful.
My forensic assistant here, take over.
To help them crack the case, the celebrities have a range of 1920s police techniques at their disposal.
You'd like to take a seat?
Hello.
Hello
How are
again,
you?
ladies. Lovely to
Good to
see you.
again.
So Nancy is summoned for an early form of forensic testing.
I'm not in any trouble, am I?
Oh, no.
Well, that's what we're here to ascertain.
This test can indicate if someone has fired a gun or not.
Gunshot residue?
That's correct. It would be the propellant from the...
From the gunshot?
So we're going to use some hot paraffin wax, which has been melting in here. We can layer it up with some gauze. The action of the paraffin, because it's warm, will open up the pores in her hand. And if Nancy has fired a gun, then any of the components called nitrates that are found in the powder will have attached to the glove, and then we can test it with sulfuric acid. If it changes colour to blue,
yes,
then that indicates there's nitrates there, which could mean...
Oh, it's blue. Well, isn't that interesting?
So,
That is interesting.
to be clear, does the test indicate that a gun could have been fired?
It indicates a gun could have been fired.
I haven't fired a gun in years. Not since I was at school, honestly. I didn't shoot the Reverend. I have no grudge with him.
Who do you, as you say, have a grudge against? Now, Duffy saw you having an argument with the butler, Smythe.
No.
Yes, they did.
Well, yes.
Don't lie to
all
us.
right, yes.
I tell you one thing. You would not want to cross Angela. I've known her for many, many years. She's now Miss Marple.
How do you explain the residue and the positive test that we've just
I
seen?
can't. I did not shoot the Reverend.
Thank you, Nancy. That will do for now. You may leave.
It's ridiculous.
Is there any other element that the blue could indicate other than gunpowder?
So anything that contains nitrates, so bleaching reagents, pharmaceuticals.
So anything. She could have washed her hands with bleach or anything.
Or pesticides, if she'd been using pesticides.
Okay.
Are you convinced then now that someone is trying to frame her, having sent that letter?
I think that seems likely.
I think we have people trying to particularly steer us in the wrong direction. And that's something we should be aware of from now on.
Poor old Nancy's obviously got someone who's really got it in for her and is trying to set her up as the murderer.
So everything that appears gold ain't gold.
A key part of the murder mystery experience is that guests are immersed in the life of the house as it was 100 years ago.
We're all here to be 1920s characters.
I'm lucky to be upstairs and Sue and Keith are downstairs. Well, that's appropriate. Well, they're typical below-stairs people.
And they have been summoned to the kitchen.
I'm Miranda.
Oh, hello, I'm
Hello.
Suna. It's my first day here.
Miranda, how are you?
How are you?
Nice to meet you, young
Nice to
lady.
meet you too. So you are going to be preparing all of this for dinner tonight.
Tonight, Lord and Lady Grafton will host a dinner party, and first course is a 1920s delicacy, calf's tongue.
Oh, look at that.
Look, he's obviously licked his arse.
Oh, you could do some real damage with that.
Which will be served in jelly made from pig's trotters.
Oh, it's the glove puppet.
So Sue is now shaving all the unsightly hairs off the trotter so that nobody gets a hair in their teeth tonight. I have a friend of mine's 40th recently. We had a party in an old castle, actually, and we had a lovely night. And for breakfast the next morning, we all had pig's trotters.
Do you know, you feel that there, you see. What do you think?
Feels lovely.
Country houses in the 20s would often host enormous dinner parties. And if the gentlemen had been out shooting, whatever they bagged would end up in the main course.
Roll up the sleeves.
Tonight, it's pheasant pie.
So what would you like, the male or the female?
I'll pluck the female.
Right, we'll get...
Females are always plucking me. I might as well pluck them back.
You're natural.
There you go. It's one of those things, you either kind of get squeamish about it or you just get stuck in and pluck it. So, I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker son. I'm only plucking pheasants.
Tell me.
Pheasant plucker comes.
Oh, it's all jolly fun, isn't it?
How are you getting on, Sue?
I'm not doing too badly. My first one was dead thick, but I couldn't help it because
I don't mind meat a bit thick.
No, I would agree with you, but sadly, there's 12 people probably tonight to serve it. Is that
14.
right? 14?
Yeah.
14?
Wow.
A quail's egg is added, then all that's needed is the stock from the pig's trotters.
I don't think you and I are really cut out for the older way of life.
It's not that we're not cut out to do it. We can't be bothered.
Just as Sue and Keith add the finishing touches to their jelly,
Pollard, glad to see you've been working hard.
Armstrong, the housekeeper, arrives.
I need you to help me get something from the cellar, please.
Cellar?
Yes, come with me.
When it comes to a murder mystery, nothing is what it seems.
Oh, what was that?
As Sue is about to find out.
It's a bit steep. Oh, crikey. Not much light in here. This lamp's flipping useless. Ah! Oh, God. Well, that puts pay to what I was thinking. Poor cow's dead. I'm hurrying up. Oh, God. I can't believe. Can somebody help me, please? I wish it wasn't so far away.
How skillfully acted.
Is anybody there? Oh, darling. No.
What are you doing?
No.
What's wrong? What's the matter?
Another murder.
What?
Another murder.
Oh.
No.
Where?
I'd go and get the woman that we thought might be, you know,
Clementine.
Nancy Bloom.
Oh, no. I thought that Sue was a bit over the top.
Quickly, come on. There's no time to waste.
You expect her to be, shocked by these murders, but she seemed to believe they were being actually carried out. What's this rope doing?
Quick.
Might be the murder weapon.
Look.
Oh, my God.
Look.
Oh, the poor woman.
Now, we said there was going to be another murder, didn't we?
Yes.
Didn't think it was going to be Nancy.
How awful.
She's cold already. She's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see the marks on her neck from the rope we found upstairs.
Well, there's a turn-up for the books. We've only just finished interrogating Nancy as a possible murderer, and now she's a victim.
Well,
What was she doing down here?
Two people stay with the body and the other three
but
people
we'll
go to
go
the incident
there.
room.
Well, I'm not staying with the body. You stay with the
Well,
body.
I'll come with you,
John,
Duffy.
you're going to stay with the body?
I am, yeah. You can go.
Well, well, well. The plot thickens. Of all the people, I never expected her to go.
It's a terrible business.
So, if anybody was thinking that it could have been Lady Nancy, no. She's murder victim number 2.
Nancy now seems innocent because she's been murdered, but maybe she wasn't. It doesn't prove anything. Nothing is proved by this except that death is horrible and the nicest people have been murdered.
There's been a second murder at Grafton Manor.
Oh, God. Can somebody help me, please?
Oh, the poor woman.
One of the key suspects of the shooting of Richard Coles is dead.
Now, we said there was going to be another murder, didn't we?
Yes.
Didn't think it was going to be Nancy.
How awful.
She's cold already. She's dead.
Yeah.
Well, there's a turn-up for the books. We've only just finished interrogating Nancy as a possible murderer, and now she's a victim.
And please for me, because I didn't think she did it. There.
Now, whoever's murdered Nancy is more than likely the person who was trying to frame her and make us think that she was the murderer. I think they realised that we've twigged that she was being framed, which means she's no longer any use to them.
Well, I mean, I've been stuffed in my theory now, you know, I mean, because I thought she was obviously going to be in the equation.
What is she doing here? Why? Just a cellar that looks more like a morgue. It's horrible.
At the crime scene,
Have we got anything here? Ah,
something catches John's eye.
look at that. This is actually quite a lot of money. Wait a minute, what else have we got? Now keep quiet and go away. So who was going to get the money?
Keen to share his discovery, John tracks down Angela.
I give you the money.
Now keep
You're
quiet
relaxed.
and
You
go
don't
away.
realise that I'm just about to go like that. Woof.
And she would
Right.
have both hands on the money, so probably unable to protect herself.
So as you fall back,
Yes, I drop the money,
I leave it under you.
so you don't care about 35 quid.
So that means I'm rich.
Yes.
Not just an ordinary murderer, I'm a rich murderer.
The bodies may be piling up, but life in the house continues, and our celebrities need to prepare for dinner. As John Sargent's valet, Keith needs to ensure his master is properly attired.
We have the Colonel Sergeant's shoes here. Now, back in the day, and I don't mean in boys' zone, I mean back in the early 1920s, you could tell an awful lot about a gentleman by his shoes, and the valet would actually polish the shoes, soles and all. Now, believe it or not, we're going to iron his laces for his shoes. In the earlier years, I would have been quite good at the ironing at home because my father was a tailor and he was very fussy as to how everything was ironed. A shirt would have to be ironed to perfection. In fact, if I was going out on a Saturday night, I'd say to him, Dad, you know, iron my shirt. He'd go, ah, come on, you know how to do it yourself. I would do it very badly so that he'd take over and I would go out with a pristine, pressed, beautiful shirt.
Sheila and Angela are more self-sufficient, leaving Sue to get the drinks in.
Ladies, look at this for a surprise. Look at that.
Champagne?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Only the best.
I think our frocks are terrific,
I
don't
think
you?
so, too.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that a singer in the 20s would have worn.
That's exactly
It's
what I wanted.
fabulous, isn't it?
I just wanted
And
to-
I love the cheeky bit round the bottom. Look,
Yeah,
look.
I know.
Nobody in my past would have looked like this.
No.
My granny probably would have looked more like you than this. And my mother certainly would never have had something as glamorous as this.
Come on, let's see if the gramophone works. Come on, come on.
Oh, bit of music.
Yeah.
Ah.
That goes on there, does it?
On there.
Yes. Or does it?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's not
Is
bad.
it fitting? Oh, there you go. We've got to release something, haven't we?
Because it.
There's
back to
nothing
where
I
you were.
recognise at all. It's no good whatsoever, that.
It's not going fast enough.
It's very Bing Crosby, isn't it? And Cary Grant.
Absolutely. Completely.
It sounds better with your ear inside this. Because you know why? It's more in tune than it is
Is
out there.
But
If
the
you stick your
quality
head
wasn't
in there,
any
my
better.
lady,
This is actually good quality.
Then you, yes,
I think I'll just put mine in.
it's not bad. Do you want something?
You know what it reminds me of? The Titanic. Doesn't it feel like
Is
the
this where we
Titanic?
sink on the Titanic?
Let me get this shoe on you, John. There you go.
That's what I like. If I had a valet every day...
Is that comfortable?
Yeah, no, I could
Let's do.
run everything, couldn't I? I could be in charge of things. Once you've worked with me for a bit, you'll get quite used to all this.
If I could pick anybody to be a valet to, it would literally be anybody except John.
What do you think?
Wow. That looks fantastic.
I think you're a natural at this.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're a good servant.
Well,
I want to say that.
I'm learning on the job, you know? I joke, I jest. At the moment, he's really letting his hair down, the little bit that's left. So we're having good fun.
What are you doing now?
I'm getting your sword ready.
Well, come on then. Quick.
What side do you dress to?
The left. So you don't need to sort of... I'm not a horse, you know. You're not saddling me up. You're just getting me ready for battle.
Is that tight enough?
It may now be ceremonial, but of course I remember when you used one of these things in earnest.
Okay.
Do you follow what I'm saying?
I do indeed.
Right, okay. But what's that? What is that meant to be?
That was just making sure.
I do hope you're not trying to make a fool of me.
Let me just hook you up.
I think this is a lot bigger than the swords I'm used to. I normally have just,
Well,
you know...
I made sure I got you an extra big one in case anybody else turns up with a sword. You have the biggest one.
But they
If
probably
they
think-
say show of swords, we can go.
Oh, I see.
And you can say you have the biggest sword.
I think it's terrific, right? But
I'm
look,
Irish,
I'm
the
not...
Queen
I
might
can't
not.
get it back in again.
Whoa.
thing is, we had to put all that
you had
on
to
with
put the iron on.
Oh, Duffy.
My boss.
Oh.
John.
Look at it.
Splendid.
Do us a twirl.
Yeah. Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
I really like that, actually. It doesn't half suit you because that is really lovely.
You're not meant to pull me there.
You really do look the part.
Does it feel uncomfortable wearing it, though?
After a bit, you just think, you know, what does one do without a sword? That's the stage I've got to.
Well, I must say, I do have a thing for a man in uniform.
Boss, if you don't mind, a woman in uniform.
Let me go like that. Oh, Duffy, this is marvellous. You should have told me earlier that you'd like a bit of action, Duffy. I wouldn't have wasted all this time.
Dressed to impress, the celebrities are ready to join the Grafton household to sample the finest cuisine the 1920s had to offer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first course is calf's tongue and quail's egg in pig's trotter jelly.
Oh, thank you.
This may be a little unusual, but I would like to invite you, Duffy, and you, Pollard, to join us at the table just for tonight only.
Oh, that's very kind.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Mum.
Well done.
Up your bum.
It's lovely that they allowed me to join them. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody enjoyed the food that we spent hours preparing and cooking today.
I have a problem with pig's feet. I don't care how you jelly it up. It's still pig's feet, trotters, and I don't eat them.
It's a bit like jelly that you have with custard. But, really, I think it could do with it being a bit more spicy.
Very tasty.
Is that the perfect spot?
The starter may have got mixed reviews, but as the guests get stuck into the main course and then dessert, the talk turns to the recent murder of Nancy Bloom and what should happen to her money.
Here's an idea. Why doesn't Mara sign over all of Bloom's money to me?
Charles, that's enough.
Oh, do leave Charles alone, Montague. You're only upset because he's having a go at your precious Nancy Bloom. Something been going on? Apart from Montague dipping his nib into Nancy Bloom's inkwell.
Like father, like son.
Not me. Just because my grandfather and father might have got up to some things doesn't mean you'll catch me slumming it with a tart from below stairs like that.
Charles.
Well, to my mind, Nancy Bloom was a thoroughly nasty piece of work and she deserved everything she got.
Yes, well, if you keep on speaking like that, I'll blacken that other eye.
Just do your worst, Montague.
Yeah,
Go on, have a go.
Oh, yeah, where were you in this time, eh? On the shit.
Oh, gosh.
Lena.
Do something quickly. Oh, my gosh.
Have a glass. There we are.
Thank you, Doctor.
That's all right. Are you feeling all right? That's all right. Just take it easy.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
To my wife's swift recovery.
Lady Helena.
Lady Helena.
Are you okay?
Yes,
Smythe, can we get some water for a lady, please?
Water, please, Smythe. Thank you.
Montague, take a drink. It's lovely. Lovely. Montague? Montague? Montague!
Calm down. Give us some space.
Colonel, he's dead.
It took me hours to make that blancmange. I mean, Look at that.
I think this is one of the most dysfunctional families I have ever seen.
This is the most awful evening of my entire life.
Another one bites the dust. It's getting to the point where I'm not surprised anymore. Do you know, it's like, who's next?
The bodies are stacking up at Grafton Manor.
Dead!
First to go was the Reverend Richard Coles, closely followed
Lord.
by schoolteacher Nancy Bloom.
Well, 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 the plot thickens.
Now, Lord Montague, who just inherited the entire Grafton estate, has been poisoned.
It took me hours to make that blancmange. I mean, look at that.
There's a man over there, dead, with his head in the blancmange. This is the most awful evening of my entire life.
Montague's death means the Baroness's millions are now up for grabs. And there are 7 suspects remaining.
Well, let's go in here and see who dies today. Everybody's dies today, dies today, dies today.
It's first thing in the morning on day 3 of our Celebrities Murder Mystery Long Weekend, and our 5 remaining celebrities are still getting their heads around it.
How strange is this, like, from your day-to-day living? It's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, actually, it's not that crazy because every day
Oh, no,
you...
sorry, I'll direct that question to somebody else. I'm enjoying the company of my my fellow cast members.
Oh, ditch the bitch.
Obviously, I'm at least 40 years younger than all of the rest of them. So sometimes in the green room, it's like in God's waiting room. But I'm enjoying their company, and between us, we will figure out who's after murdering all these lovely people.
Everyone is preparing themselves for a hard day of sleuthing.
Angie's Miss Marple. She will be the solver. John as well. I can see the clogs working there. Oh no, they're cogs. Oh yeah, clogs are what you're dancing.
Not sure the murderer has much to worry about. Time for breakfast, 1920s style.
Oh, lovely, starving. Oh, what's that?
Kippers, huh?
While the gentlemen have kippers, the ladies get something rather less tasty.
Laxatives.
Oh, stop it.
100 years ago, laxatives were a popular slimming agent, something which would be considered dangerous today with the potential for serious health risks.
I'm sorry, gentlemen, but looking at present company, I think that's what we should be doing.
Oh, yes. Oh, look, his little face is crumpled.
What do I think?
What to share?
I don't believe this, but it does say laxatives.
It does say laxatives,
Yeah.
yes.
It's not long before the mood turns nasty.
Armstrong, what are you doing?
I'm searching for my scissors, milady.
If your scissors appear, they'll find their way back to the kitchen, I'm sure.
We're all just sitting there having breakfast. The actors come and join us, and suddenly they're in character.
Where's Clementine? That wretched girl is always disappearing.
I knocked on her door this morning, Ma'am, but she said she had headache, so I sent for Dr. Keats.
Nothing to worry about. I gave Clementine a laudanum tonic.
Far too strong, if you ask me. Mind you, I'd be surprised if you had any actual medicine in that bag of yours, Dr. Keats. I've got more potent ingredients in my kitchen cupboard than you can prescribe. Bunch of money-grabbing quacks.
Impudent woman. Perhaps you should watch your tongue before someone takes it upon themselves to silence you.
I'd like to see him try.
Here we go. It's all kicking off again.
Armstrong, I will thank you to remember your place.
Obviously another little contretemps.
So, Clementine's gone missing, and so have the scissors. And if that's not enough, Charles has a new piece of gossip he wants to share.
I wonder who it was I saw in the garden last night.
What do you mean, Charles?
I saw 2 figures, a man and a woman, dancing the light fandango. By the moonlight? Yes.
Charles, please. All I seem to do these days is reprimand you. It's hard enough with all of these goings-on.
Yes, now come on, Charles, there's enough of that nasty talk. There's ladies' prison.
You're altogether far too familiar with Pupil Marwell. Particularly the ladies.
I don't think...
Particularly that lady. What do you say, Dr. Keats?
I can't say I'd noticed.
Could Lady Helena be having an affair? And if so, who with?
Something to do with Lady Helena. Do you think? Could be one or other of them. Yes. Yeah.
We're being led this morning to believe that Helen is having an affair with the lawyer.
It's got to be one or other of them.
Maybe it's both.
Yeah.
And hey, the lawyer and the doctor, she's got it made.
This is nuts. This is crazy. 3 people have been murdered. We've got 6 detectives, but we're not very good, are we?
Well, you can't even count. We're 5 now.
A bit of sport awaits our celebrities this morning.
Hello, hello, hello. Morning.
But given the events of the past 24 hours, you have to wonder if it's an entirely sensible idea.
Thank you.
If this gun was to accidentally go off in your direction, it would blow your leg completely off.
Oh, right.
Or a little bit higher and more central could be worse.
Clay pigeon shooting was big in the 1920s with gentlemen and ladies.
Right, come on then, she. Do it for the girls.
Yay!
Oh, excellent girl.
Sheila and Angela are on the board. Next up, it's Sue.
Don't pull it yet.
No, I won't pull it yet.
And you get a balloon. You get a...
Oh, Mr. Bond, you're fabulous.
Come on, Duffy. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, bravo.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. Oh, excellent. Oh, well done.
You are so
I'm so pleased for you, Duffy. I really am.
Last up and needing a full house, it's John.
Would you mind being quiet now? I'm about to...
Hey, well done. Oh, that is too good.
I didn't want to make it too obvious that it was a marvellous time. I've always wanted to do clay pigeon shooting. I always thought, what a strange sport.
But the winner, with a perfect score, is Keith.
Show off.
I won it for you, sir.
That's a wonderful moment.
Oh, how sweet.
While the ladies retire to Grafton Manor, Keith and John are left with Keats and Marwell, 2 men competing for Lady Helena's affections.
Well, everyone's buggered off, so we're left with these 2 guys. What does that mean? Well, it means a clue's coming.
Oh, well. You're going to show us how it's done. Ex-army man, aren't you?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I knew it. Which regiment?
East Lancashire.
Oh, so you served with Smythe, then?
Pull! Yes, and Montague. Pull! Wasn't out there long, of course. Was invalided out with his eye. Damn thing means I can't shoot straight.
Surprised you're here with us after what happened to the poor Reverend Coles. Last thing we need is a man who can't shoot straight. Duck and cover!
I'd watch myself if I were you, Dr. Keats.
What are you going to do? Shoot me?
I know all about your supposed orphanage. It wouldn't do to give a lawyer a reason to take a good, hard look at it now, would it? Might find all sorts of irregularities.
If I was you, Marwell, I'd keep your good eye open and your mouth shut. He missed both shots.
Did he?
Yes.
So he couldn't have done it. He couldn't have shot old. No, he might have.
Been aiming for Montague and hit the vicar instead.
Okay. Well, yes.
Pull!
Both these 2 men are not what they seem. I don't know what Helena thinks of them. What does she think she's doing? Why can't she get someone, well, someone nice, like me?
Here at Grafton Manor, our Celebrities Murder Mystery Weekend is getting stranger by the minute.
Bunch of money-grabbing quacks.
Impudent woman.
The housekeeper doesn't know her place. Lady Helena might be having an affair with the doctor and the lawyer.
Whoa.
He can't shoot straight. And Clementine has gone missing.
There are some very funny goings on. All these like murders and stuff.
I try and stay out of all the drama, Pollard. Sometimes it just jumps out at you.
Is your tuition pointing you towards anybody?
This afternoon, the celebrities get to quiz the members of the house to find out what they know.
This, I think, is going to be a good moment for me to get really involved in this investigation, to start interrogating the suspects.
I think we have two lines of inquiry. Could be totally wrong, but I think she has motive and she has motive.
This has been the big moment I've been waiting for.
And she constantly looks like the cat who's got the cream.
You should be in the remake of Prime Suspect. Totally obvious.
This is our chance to play Poirot and get our hands on the actors.
If you'd like to take a look around the grounds, gentlemen.
Someone who's been keeping his cards close to his chest is Smythe the butler. If anyone knows the other suspect's dirty secrets, it's him.
You know all these people. How many of them strike you as being, of murderous intent?
Well, as I say, there are many different motives for murder, but as I said, nobody in this house is quite what they seem.
And it's not long before he starts putting the boot into another member of the Grafton staff.
And you might have perhaps noticed, for example, that Mrs. Armstrong, she did not show the deference that is due to a domestic servant.
What is your relationship with her?
Quite frankly, sir, I find her overbearing. I do not get on with her, sir, as well. She speaks to me in an extremely offhand manner.
Armstrong, the housekeeper, was left £3,000 in the Baroness's will, unlike Smythe, who got shafted.
You were cross with the lawyer.
Well, the whole will, sir, seemed to be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, to give £3,000 to a domestic servant is unheard of.
Why did she get all that money?
Well, there we have the nub of it, don't we, sir? It was really probably to hush up a scandal.
Our mother was a servant here before, and so was her father.
Really? I would not have described the late Baron as a servant.
Oh, I see.
Because he is her father, you see.
Ah. If Armstrong is the illegitimate daughter of the Baron, it does mean that she could get more money out of the estate.
You remember I said to you, sir, that there are people sometimes who, despite being in high positions, are philanderers. So,
You'd know about that.
I wouldn't have a clue what you're talking about.
Let's go and see inside, shall we?
Of course, my pleasure. This way?
While John and Keith chew on yet another plot point, the ladies have their suspicions about Lady Helena,
And one.
who seems remarkably chipper considering her husband has just been murdered.
Ladies, welcome. What a lovely morning this is. And I thought, what could be better than a little bit of exercise?
We came here to interrogate Lady Helena, but, I mean, why would she bring us to a gym?
I saw you were doing that with the, what would you call that?
Chest
Springs,
expander.
the chest expanders.
Absolutely.
That would build your muscles and make you very, very strong.
I guess there must be a clue in here somewhere.
I will leave you to get changed. I've got a little bit of business in the house. See you shortly, ladies. Thank you very much.
Oh, bloody hell.
People may be dropping like flies, but that's no excuse for our celebrities to let themselves go.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
And the gym at the manor has been decked out with original 1920s home exercise equipment.
Well, you could
That's a rowing machine.
Isn't, is it? Anyway, it
Hold
don't
on,
matter.
hold the other
So
hand.
what I'll do is...
Right, ready? Get your feet up there.
No, I've gone off again. No, it fell off.
I was going to tell you that...
I don't think you should be doing this. Stand up, please. Seriously, stand
Oh,
up.
I've had enough.
Why don't you just... But how do we make it work? All right, stick it on. Oh,
Okay, wait.
ready? Are you ready?
For those of a more nervous disposition, this 20s invention offered a more relaxed form of stimulation.
Oh, that's quite... Oh, that feels good.
That's where that expression comes from. Jiggy, jiggy. Go!
Go!
Yeah. It's hilarious.
It's doing your arms.
Oh, when you talk like this. Oh, I tell you what, I want to take this home now. You can forget all the other stuff.
We don't need men anymore. We're fine.
You haven't got any bingo wings anyway, but if you had them.
Interestingly, you actually are exercising the muscles.
Am
This
I?
is doing the work.
Yes.
It really
Is
is.
it? Yeah.
You're not having sex with a man. You're actually having sex with a machine.
Yes, but it's absolutely true.
I know. It is.
I know,
Put your
which
hands
I
on your arms.
prefer. This is sort of passive exercise.
Yes, it's no
And actually, after a while, if you stayed over for too long, it would not give you a headache.
Oh, you're not kidding.
But for a true full-body workout, nothing came close to the very first
Ready?
Yes.
electrically powered exercise bike.
Go.
Oh, they're having a laugh. Oh, oh, you get on this. The shock of this. The shock of this is ridiculous.
It's good though.
Yeah, don't let them know. Look, you see. You see. She's banged her head on the thing. Oh.
Wait a minute. I got an electric bike. It doesn't work like this. On the count of 3, yeah? We're gonna go.
Right.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Whoa.
I don't believe it. That is hilarious.
Can you believe what did she do? The power was
The power's gone.
As refreshments arrive,
Well, haven't you got a healthy glow?
I don't think so.
Lady Helena gives the ladies an important clue about another member of the Grafton family.
Actually, you know, I'm glad I've got you gals together without the chaps. Constance, to me, she seems a little more clued up than you'd give her credit for. And of course, she was a game girl in her youth, you know. That's what her sister said. I know this is gossiping, and apologies for that.
Oh, no,
but-
we don't mind any of that.
Yeah, we like it, don't
Yes,
we?
have we got any
A bit
more?
of gossip.
Just like Helena, Constance got next to nothing in the will and wasn't happy about it.
Do we know why the two sisters were estranged?
I mean, I don't want to listen to rumours and gossip,
Well, just tell us what you heard
Yes.
anyway.
Well, I heard they had a massive falling out. It's something to do with the estate. Ladies, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Okay,
I must
well,
say
thank
that
you.
you look healthy and glowing. And
Yes,
I
like
must
yourself.
fly. Things to do around the household, but
Thank
we'll
you.
catch up, continue
Yes,
this later, won't
thank
we?
you.
Lovely
Yes.
to see you.
Thank
See
you very
later.
much
Toodle
for
bit.
the
Bye-bye.
cucumber and that.
You're very welcome, Bollard.
Once again, there's definitely quite a few clues in that conversation.
Oh, yes,
she probably
indeed.
unwittingly gave her. Come on, girls.
As the devilish plot twists and turns,
Oh, this way, gentlemen.
John and Keith find themselves upstairs in the house.
Now, in this room, there is a rather unique feature. It's the priest's hole.
This floorboards come up, look.
Ah.
Many Tudor houses like Grafton had secret hiding places to protect Catholic family members from persecution.
How long would you have to be down there for?
I mean, you know, if it was you, say, I mean, I'd just leave you there and probably go off and have lunch.
No nasty surprises so far. But as our celebrities have learnt, that can change at any moment.
This way, gentlemen. I'd like to show you this next.
Next stop, the attic. And what are we going to find out up there?
Wow. Is that...
Oh, hell.
Is that another body?
This is Clementine.
Clementine.
Oh, dear.
Well, this is the most gross one so far.
This is just horrible.
Oh, hi.
I need you all to follow me, please.
Look at this, look at this.
Oh, no, there's another. It's not...
It's Clementine.
No, it's Clementine. This can't be happening to me. I've just come here for a weekend of fun and frolics, and then suddenly all you can hear is... "Ah!"
This house is full of death.
And what do we find? The goriest, most horrible murder ever. I mean, like, who would want to kill off Clementine? I mean, what motive could they have for bumping her off?
Clementine is the enigmatic travelling companion to Lady Constance. She didn't get anything in the will reading, and her boss was totally left out of the inheritance.
That wretched girl is always disappearing.
What did she know that meant the murderer had to bump her off?
Clementine must have known something again, but so she was bumped off. Well,
No.
No, wait, whoa.
And all of a sudden, Angela gets very CSI.
Look at all the blood that's on
That's
the wall.
splattered.
There's blood all down here. All that blood spatter on that back wall suggests she was not killed in that chair. She was staged. Her body was staged. So whoever is doing these killings has got a very weird sense of humour.
As the murders become more gruesome, the companion joins the vicar, the schoolteacher, and the lord as grisly victims. The celebrities are running out of time to catch the killer.
Well, they just start to enjoy it a bit more.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it is whittling down the number of people that
Making it
we've got.
easier for us to figure out who it is.
It is.
Next time on Celebrity Murder Mystery,
Oh no!
Got another one.
all will be revealed as the murderer's plot reaches its deadly conclusion.
We have to remember, what is the motive? Why are these people being killed? Someone has gone like that.
And as the victims continue to mount up,
Oh God!
Like that. Oh.
can the celebrities piece together all the evidence?
No.
I'm getting confused now.
Crack the case
Oh, hang on. No, something's coming to... Look.
and finally unmask the murderer.
Let's think about all of them being involved.
It really comes down to two of the oldest reasons, money and love.
Lady Ripon, do you have a conclusion?
We do.
Don't leave us hanging like that, Angela. More work to be done, and a killer revealed tomorrow night at 9 on Channel 5. Next tonight, remember Lorraine Kelly and MP Esther McVeigh's awkward encounter on Breakfast Telly? Most shocking celebrity fallout is in just a moment.